Okay, great.
Simon as my manager. Teresa is from the OCS. This is Oracle internal consulting. So they sometimes help with the implementation of the software with some things sometimes partners cannot do, or if the customers prefer the internal Oracle services, then they can pursue OCS.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ernest, for the invitation and introduction, and really happy to have all those people in here. I really didn't expect that that many people, will be on this call. So really cool you were all able to join. And okay, let's proceed and start and talk about the business.
Yeah, by all means. So, Abdullah, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks, Ernest, for the introduction. Thanks, Rafal, for joining. So the purpose of today's call is to understand more details about the business use case that we are having here with Polska Press. So to customize a demonstration for you, maybe today as well, I can show you some out-of-the-box screens of the product. Mm-hmm. But yes, you can allow me some time based on the information that we are going to gather today and the discussion that we are going to have today regarding the business use cases to personalize something for you and show it to you in a demonstration, maybe a couple of days later. And you can invite the rest of your team to test the product and see how the product works and the value that you can gain out of the product. Okay, so you have the confidence that Oracle DMP is the correct solution for you to adopt.
Okay, great.
So I'll start with my understanding about the use case for Polska Press, and you can validate my understanding, and then we can discuss together business use cases before I go and show you some screens from the actual DMP. So what I understand is that you currently oversee like more than 60% of the Polish internet users. Nearly 18 million users visit your network of publisher websites and news and magazines, online news and magazines. So we are talking about around 18 million users, right?
Yeah, we were talking about real users, not the unique users, as understood in by computer, etc.
Okay, so those are not unique users; those are visits, right?
Not exactly visits. We're basing this on the external gaming system that basically for how the big is this. Okay, so basically they have they are checking the real people, and they are getting information from real people, and they are combining this data with the information from their computers and from some research they are doing, and basically they are getting data about how many users real users they have based on users that we see in the ad server, etc.
Yeah, okay. Great.
Just understand those numbers are for the real users, not the unique users. I'm not sure how many unique users there.
Okay, I have researched that you reach around 10 million unique people monthly on your websites. This is what the information that I could reach. I'm not sure.
No, it has to be
10 million. It's written on your website that it's 10.3, and I think this is 5 years back. It's tagged on November 2015, so I think this number is an outdated number.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we basically say that we reach about 20 million of your clients, but these are real users. I don't see any data of. We actually changed our company page like a month ago. I'm not sure if you already saw the new one or the old one. So let me check the old one.
Okay.
Because I didn't do that one, actually.
Okay. And do you have any idea about those 20 million people, how many page views they do per month?
Well, that depends from the month. Last month we did around 1 billion, but usually it's closer to, I don't know, 600 million views.
Okay, this is per month, right?
Yeah, this is per month, exactly.
Okay, so it's we'd assume it's a maximum of 1 billion monthly page views.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would like estimate that when it comes to when it comes to the unique users, not the real users, it would be like closer to, I don't know, 30, 40 million, something like that.
30, 40 million users, unique users.
Yeah, because you usually translate, real users, like you have to double, triple that number. So if we reach 18 million, it should be like 36 or maybe 40, 50, something like that. I think it's closer to 50, but I don't have really data in here, so I have to be sure how it looks like.
Okay, which is fine. So I understand that you run more than 150 local magazine and newspaper.
Yeah. I would say that there are the main, like 20 few, the main ones. We also got a domain Nasze Miasto, which aggregates like 500 cities. So basically, the domain usually looks like warszawa.naszemiasto.com. .pl, and this is the way how it looks like. Beside that, we've got the regional site, and also from aside from that, there are also a few other like team sites. For example, Telemagazyn, which is about the TV, etc.
Yeah, so I have identified some of the newspaper websites online, but I couldn't find the rest. Maybe you can help me. So I reached the Nowa Tribuna Opolska website. Excuse my Polish. Maybe it's not the correct accent. And
the NTO. Yes, NTO.pl.
Yeah, it's nto.pl, and the Nasza Miasta website .pl.
Yes,
and
that's the biggest one.
That's the biggest one, and the Polska Press website, which is, I think, it doesn't have that much traffic because it's the group website. So it's more of a company profile website, right?
You're right, but this one is a bit outdated. Let me send you. Okay, there's the chat. It's in here.
Yeah,
that's the new site from Media PPG. We are actually rebranding to a more, let's say, modern site. It's more for the people from the agencies, etc. So we are trying to change the way how people perceive media PPG.
Okay. Great. So the Nasza Miasta and the NTO are the two biggest websites in terms of traffic, right?
Yes.
But you still have others.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So how many total number of domains are we currently covering in this project?
I would have to check, but like 27, I think. We just created another one, but that's a small one. But so let's say around 27.
Okay. 27 domains. Okay, in terms of tracking users on those domains, I have found that you are using maybe 10 or more trackers on your websites. So you are using Google IMA, DoubleClick, Genius, AdOcean, AdForm, AppNexus, plus Google Analytics for site analytics. But there are two trackers that I couldn't figure out what they are. I think they are local trackers, the TVN tracker and the PP statistics tracker. So can you please elaborate on those two private trackers? What do they do?
Yeah, there's from TVN, and that's one of our partners with whom we work with, and we do the video offer with them. So that's part of this. So, but basically they should be only on the only on the pages where video is present. But I'm not actually 100% sure.
Okay, so it's more into video analytics partner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one, the PP statistics.
PP. I don't know which one is that actually. I have no idea.
Okay, it's a tracker on your website. Maybe later on you can tell me the business use case of having that.
I'm already trying to.
I'll send you the tracker name on the chat.
Okay, great.
So it's ppstatistic.pl. Okay. Anyway, let's move forward. So what I understand is that you are currently working with a couple of ad servers. So AppNexus, AdForm, AdOcean, and DoubleClick. Is that correct?
Yeah, we mostly work with DFP, with Google Ad Manager, but we also do use the AdOcean, and one of our partners, Dimension TBN, also uses the AdOcean.
But are you actively using AdForm and AppNexus as well?
It's possible, but it's possible, but not that I know of.
Okay.
Not as a standard ad manager, for the most of the campaigns. Maybe in some capacity, but I really don't know about that part where we can use that.
Okay, no worries. So in terms of this is in terms of numbers and in terms of tracking online users. So we mentioned that it can go up to 50 million or 40 to 50 million online users, creating traffic with an average or a maximum of 1 billion page views on 27 different online domains. And then the programmatic part is being done mainly using Google Ad Manager and AdOcean and others as well.
Mostly Google Ad Manager, but let's say we on few sites we use the AdOcean, but this is a very small part of the business.
Okay. So on the business use cases side, what I understand is that mainly you offer advertising services to different advertisers to advertise using your online network, and you also do printing services, which is, I think, it's more of an offline business.
It's still a very important part of our business. I would say that it's close to 50%. So of
50% of the revenue, or 50% of the Okay,
close to that.
And the other 50%, if I distribute them between advertising and selling magazine subscriptions, how the ratio will be?
Well, I would say paper is like 50, and another 50 would be to online. Well, it's actually changing. So this year it will be probably it will look different, and we will go higher with online and lower with paper. But that's not 100% sure yet.
Okay. So the main use cases that I have identified till the moment, and then I need to hear from you, how do you see this project and what is the expected outcomes of this project, is first is to optimize or to use your data from your online assets in order to optimize ad targeting, so to provide better targeting and better reach for advertisers in order to monetize your data and get higher CPM from those advertisers by advertising through your network of your websites. And the other one is to generate more business and reach more B2B customers in order to generate more business for your printing business line.
Yeah, those both are true, and what we are actually also trying to understand how we can change our audience offer, because we are currently using the audience part of Google Ad Manager. So we are doing that, and that is like I wouldn't call that exactly DMP. Let's call it like a very basic kind of DMP option, right? And we are actually using that, and we want to know whether switching to for example, your DMP, I don't know, would make the inventory in any way better, would make it could make more profitable for us, this offer. So, well, that's what we are mostly interested in. However, optimizing some campaigns, things like that, getting bigger or higher click-through rates, etc. These are also very important parts of the business.
Okay, that's very important as well. So currently, I can see that you are using Google Analytics for online statistics. And you said you have kind of a DMP, or not exactly a DMP. So this is where you store data about your online traffic, right?
Yes. Well, analytics, sure. Google Ad Manager also. Well, I usually use the Google Ad Manager. We also use something what is called, well, not for the whole inventory, but for the part of the inventories, we use something what is called Deep. I don't know if you heard about that Deep, like double E and then P. Though I'm not into, well, basically using that part of technology. It's more, it's like very advanced system analyzing the behavior of the user on the page. Well, exactly how he moves, the mouse pointer, etc., things like that. How much time he spends at the page, what he did before that, etc. So basically, a lot of information goes there. But I'm not taking part in that testing. But more for the content-based part of the business, so for content marketing, etc.
Okay, I understand. I'm not fully aware of Deep. However, I can
me neither.
search
but
for
I just
it.
heard about that.
Yeah.
Interesting part that we are doing actually right now that we can use in DMP is, how should I call this, contextual
targeting?
Not exactly contextual targeting. We intend to do the contextual targeting, but we are creating a system of automatic recommendations for our users. So our user doesn't get only just standard page that we create, but the page is created dynamically based on what kind of articles he already have seen, and based on that we wish to send to him a proper different articles in subject that he's interested in. Basically, we already did some part of categorizing. We already categorized the whole inventory into, I think, like 12 main categories. That's the part, the IAB categories. But we are also going to be not exactly categorizing, but tagging the whole inventory based on the context. And it's not done by the people. It's done by the automatic system based on the context of the whole article. Some parts will be probably based also on the pictures, but the part is a bit harder to do so. Well, we are going to do that, but it will cost a bit, so we are still waiting for that part. But we are actually just in the process of doing that. So we'll have like 12 main categories and another 29, I think, IAB. Let's say those are not exactly categories. Let's call the subject or themes of like a woman, I don't know, beauty, etc., or whatever. So we will have probably a lot of data that will be able to the system, to the DMP.
Okay, which is great. And also I can see that you are using Genius
Yes.
MediaMind for audience measurement. So
Yes,
you are using
exactly.
both for audience measurement, and I think you are also using what else? You are also using Chocolatey for conversion optimization.
Maybe for only a part of the business. Not sure exactly. I'm not in the in this part of the business, so I'm not taking care of this part of the business.
Okay.
I'm just sitting like few years away from taking care of this part of the business. I mean, not only the native but click-through based campaigns.
Click-through based campaigns. Okay, I understand. So now I have a good understanding about business use cases, the tracking mechanisms that you are using, different analytics platforms that you are using, and we talked about the categories. So I've noted here 12 main categories on the 27 different domains. So currently the data that you have, do you create intelligence cross-domain? Like, do you detect that the same user have visited your 27 domains and then you create like an audience profile, or the data is separated from one domain to another?
Right now, what we do with Google Ad Manager and the audience part of it, it is we don't. We sometimes we do separate data from particular domains, but we also have a way to. We already have like categories part of the domains that are the same on each domain. So basically, we've got like part for woman on each domain, or not each domain, but sorry, not each domain, but for most of them, we've got parts like for health, for women, for business, agro, whatever. So things like that. Actually, there's, when we talk about imported specifics, how our business works is we've got like this duality of business that we are doing, because very big part of the business we do with small direct clients. So we've got like 17, including Warsaw, 17 branches in Poland. And those branches also have like sub branches. In total, we've got like let's say 500 to 600 salespeople in Poland. So we work a lot with very small customers, like I don't know, hairdresser. I think you call them hairdresser or whatever, people like that, but also small shops or whatever, a lot of very small business. And with them, it's basically people to do the audience-based offer in general. But it is possible. We are already doing that, and it's growing. It's growing really rapidly for the past let's say half a year. So it's growing nice. But this is one half of the business, and there is another half of the business, and those are big companies. So very large direct clients. Also some government institutions, etc. And also in there I would include the agencies, so media houses. They are very important when it comes to the Polish market, So mostly when we talk about audience, we talk about the agencies. So that's the most important part because they are more advanced when it comes to this kind of business. But we still have to consider the offer for the very small buyers, local buyers. And so this is very difficult distinction of our company. And I would say that normally the state of audience in a company that has such a long experience when it comes to publishing, etc., is not very good, or is actually bad. But considering this distinction about the kind of clients that we have, that we also are trying to rebrand and go more for the agencies. Well, I would say it's kind of normal. So we are in the process of a big changes.
Okay, that's pretty clear. And you have mentioned agencies, and what about advertisers? So do you deal with advertisers directly, or it's all programmatic through Ad Manager?
Yes, we do deal with the clients directly. As I mentioned, one part, let's recall one big part, small clients, local clients, with all of them we deal directly. And other parts, big clients and the agencies.
Okay.
But we try not to, go to the direct client that works with the agency, because that's now in Poland.
I understand. We always do the same in Oracle. So a question here, and your contract with those clients, is it a fixed contract or fixed term contract, or a CPC based contract, or CPM based contract, or a mix of those contracts together?
Can you repeat that? I think
so your contracts with those clients or those advertisers, is it a fixed fees contract, like you are going to advertise on my website for a year, for example, for this frequency of that, or is it a CPM based? The more views, the more they pay.
It depends. Usually it's based on CPM because, but they also buy a lot of flat fee campaigns, but those are not like yearly spendings, because smaller companies, they really don't like to freeze their assets and commit for the next year. It's very difficult for them. So basically, let's say it's CPM, but most CPM.
Okay. And do you have like an internal CRM where you store at least your subscribers' data? Your annual subscribers from users' perspective?
You mean the users, subscribers, or do you mean the clients? Because I'm not...
No, both. Like, do you have a CRM for...
When it comes to the subscribers, I don't know. I think so that we do, but this is a very small... When it comes to the regular subscribers, we only have a very small portion of the business based on the paid part of the of the business, right? So, well, when it comes to the paper, I don't know. I didn't really ever check,
but
the paper.
It's not a big contribution to the overall revenue. I think this is what you mean, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Now I understand. So, and in terms of communication channels with users, so you have mentioned a couple of minutes before that you are working on recommendations, sending recommendations based on category to your users. So what type of communication channels are you currently using? So do you distribute email newsletters?
No, we don't do emails. Nope. At least I don't think that we do. So just a standard web page. Nothing. Well, I can say that we do anything else as far as I know.
Okay. So it's only site personalization or site optimization.
Yeah. Exactly.
But there is no like channel communication with your users. It's all within your website.
Well, there is no communication. There is obviously some communication now. We've got like a place where they can, call and send whatever information they need to. But we don't have like, we've got profiles on Facebook, etc. So things like that. But those are not very important parts of the information that we, let's say when it comes to the information from the users, they are important, but considering the data that we could base on that information, it would be definitely insufficient to base anything on that.
Okay, understood. So is there any other use cases that you want to share with me before we go into the functional part of the DMP?
No, I think we can proceed and go to the functional part.
Okay, so what I do now is that I can show you a very quick demonstration to the DMP in terms of screens or in terms of how it works. For sure, we will have shortly a very detailed or a customized demo for you based on your structure. But I can show you now like a very quick high-level walkthrough during the DMP. And then we can discuss any functional technical questions that you want to share with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So let me share my screen. Just let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So Oracle DMP is a web-based DMP, and so you can grant your marketing team access to our DMP. So the second that you log into our DMP, as you can see now, this is the login screen of Oracle DMP. Once I log into our DMP, we have different models and different architectures that we will discuss later on. However, this is my instance. Like I have access to different instances. Mm-hmm. This is my instance for today. It's a demo for a publisher. Once I log in for the publisher, I can see the categories that we have discussed, like some categories that I've created. We have discussed that we have like an average of 12 categories. Audiences that I have created based on interest, based on behavior, and the deliveries, like delivering those audiences maybe for Google Ad Manager or for doing modeling, like lookalike modeling, or for analytics, like where do I want to deliver those audiences. So it's a very quick dashboard showing me what's happening on my DMP so far. And it's a journey of creating an audience, testing and the audiences, and optimizing the campaigns. So it's a journey of test and optimize. We always want to improve our measures and figures. So we always want to test and optimize. That's why our menu is you create the audience, you manage the audience and delivering the campaign, then you report, analyze, and then you do the same again and again and again. So we have a couple of reports and a couple of analysis that we do in order to measure and optimize the audience themselves or the category that we have created, the channel we are using, and the campaign itself that we are running. So measuring different parts of
when you mention about the optimization, what do you mean by optimization?
So measuring the effectiveness. So let's say, for example, that I'm using a category, I'm using a couple of audiences, and I want to see the efficiency of their conversion, for example, or how many clicks, how many click-throughs or open rates that I get from specific audiences, and where am I getting those impressions? Am I getting them from site number 1, site number 2, site number 3? So site hits report, audience usage report, and the like.
Okay.
So as I'm going to start, I need to manage my containers. Containers would definitely be your publishing sites or mobile apps. So we can ingest data, as you can see. So this is website number 1, publisher buyer site. This is website number 1. I have here a couple of websites, demo websites. So media websites, mobiles, where I ingested, and I can create a new website, where I ingested the DMP tag. So let's say for this publisher website, I'll generate code. In this code, I'll put my BlueKai tag into your website. So I'll give this piece of code to the developer. But what I can do is that I can create some key value pairs based to tag some actions or to tag some behaviors. So let's say I'll create for a specific button on the website, key value pair that the action is subscribe, or the action is unsubscribe, or the action is share, for example, with over email or whatever. So I create the key value pair here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I can later on create my data taxonomy. So I can go to the taxonomy manager and create my data taxonomy. So under the data taxonomy, I can put the taxonomy, and this taxonomy is what we are going to do with you at the beginning of the project. So I can categorize my first-party data based on maybe offline CRM data, maybe online data. And this online data, it can be by interest, by websites, or by profile. So we can do different taxonomy management here.
Okay.
So under the website, for example, for each website, I can see a specific page visitor, and I can put rules here based on the key values that we have put in the website tag. So if this key equals this value, we can categorize this visitor here. So it's a full online data ingestion. It's fully automated. It's rule-based that you can categorize different users. But this is just how we prepare your DMP for the first use, how we ingest data into your website, how we ingest data from your mobile application, or even ingest data from offline files like subscribers or CRM data or whatever.
Okay.
Once I create my taxonomy, I'm ready to start creating audiences and delivering audiences. So if you look into this screen, this is where you are going to create your audiences. Let me show you how you are going to do that. So on the left-hand side, you can see the taxonomy tree where you are going to select different categories, different audiences based on demographics, based on behavior on the website, or even based on previous campaigns. As you can see, we also have our own data set about users around the world with different affinities and different in markets. So we, Oracle, we have around 7 billion profiles around the world, either data that is owned by Oracle or branded data that is owned by our data partners like Affinity Answers, Comscore, MasterCard and Visa and whatever. So you can make use of our data as well. But the important part is your data, which is anything under private. It's your data ingested into our data taxonomy tree, where you can expand here and choose and retarget based on the data taxonomy or the categories that we have created.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Once you choose from the left-hand side, you start creating a segment here on the right-hand side, whom you want to target, whom you want to add to your campaign, and whom you want to exclude. So we can also help you with maximizing the revenue of you are getting from your data by excluding non-responders or excluding people who are not interested in seeing specific ads, who never click through, who never land on a landing page. And when they land, they never fill the landing page or the form in the landing page or whatever. So based on the user behavior, we can also exclude some users as well.
If I may ask you one thing about the audiences from Oracle, and creating segments or categories based on audiences from Oracle, can I create an audience that is based on, for example, I don't know, women from so basically cookies that I get from Oracle, and somehow feed this because that basically would be like third-party data, right?
Yes, exactly, third-party data.
But can I feed use third-party data and create the type of behavior for example, for this kind of cookies, and use this kind of well, let's call it a segment, category, or whatever, or the way that the profile, this kind of profile. Can I use this kind of profile to
Yes.
extrapolate for the first party cookie, and based on that create a new segment?
So if I understand your question right, is that you want to use our third-party data in order to enrich your first-party data? Is
Yes, something. Well, yes.
So it's not all about cookies. So we use third-party cookies in our DMP, but third-party cookies is not the unique identifier for us, because we all understand what's happening in intelligent tracking prevention and the rest. We have a technology that we have invented. It's called the Oracle ID Graph. So the Oracle ID Graph is basically that we have, sorry, let me clear my drawings. So the Oracle ID Graph is that we create the user profile and we create a unique identifier within the DMP. This unique identifier, we call it the BlueKai ID. And then we map this BlueKai ID to possible different IDs that the user might have. It might be an email address. It might be a login on a system. It might be a mobile advertising ID or a MAID, a cookie, or a postal address, or whatever. We can go up to PlayStation ID, Smart TV ID, Samsung ID, Amazon Fire ID. So we can have different IDs for the same user. They are all mapped to our BlueKai ID. Cookie is just one of them. So even in the absence of cookie, we can still fully operate using other IDs, which if we go back to our DMP here, you will find that when you create the audiences, either by first-party or third-party data, you can see the ID sources here in our DMP. So let's say, for example, we are going to use third-party data. So I'm going to expand audiences by Oracle. One of your customer is an automotive, so you can see who is in market for automotives, for example, by a specific in-market make and model. So let's say I need to target people who are in market for Audi because I signed a contract with Audi to advertise through my websites. So you can see who is in market for Audi in Poland, for example, maybe a specific Audi model. So let's say Audi A3, Audi A4, or whatever, and then select people who are on market for Audi. They are 43 million, but then you can say that I need to target only customers in Poland, something like that, right? So you can narrow down your search. But once you do that, you go to the ID sources and you discover that not all of them are cookie-based audiences. So we have 23K out of them are cookie-based audiences, but we have an equivalent value, which is 20K out of them are MAID-based audiences, mobile cookie ID audiences, which means that even in the absence of cookie for those 20,000, I can still target them using their mobile advertising ID and do mobile campaigns to target those audiences. So if I go back, what I can do is that I can target those audiences, and the moment that I get an impression on a website, this audience transfer directly into a first-party data, because when I do this advertising on my website or even using Display and Video 360 on a third-party website, I have ingested a pixel in my advertisement, or I have added a tag in my advertisement. Once this tag is fired, this audience associated to this cookie or this mobile advertising ID becomes my first-party data because they landed on my assets. So
that was the part I was interested in.
And then you can still use some demographics data.
Based on that data, I can extrapolate by using lookalike to a bigger, based on the first-party data segments, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I can still use third-party data in terms of news, who is interested in pop culture, world news, online news websites, based on TVs, so interests based on different TV channels or different specific networks, who is looking for news on specific networks like Fox or ESPN or whatever. So I can target based on that, based on the viewing frequency, based on the shows, people who are seeing specific shows. So this is regarding third-party data, and we have demographic data as well. So if I go down there to Oracle Loci, I can have ready-made demographics for me. So if I go under demographics, I can see demographics by age, gender, education, language, even home attributes and family composition, family size, children in household, number of children, and the age of children as well. So we can go into a granular level of micro-segmenting those users, and we can include this as an AND or an OR. So I can do here ANDs and OR. So I can create complicated or composite segments in order to create my audience at the end of the day. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Once I do that, and I can also ingest my first-party data, so I can go anything under private here is a first-party data, which is ingested either automatically from my online assets, or it is ingested offline from offline data sources. So as you can see here, I have I've created a taxonomy that ingesting data from different market segments, from different websites, even from TV websites. And I also have campaign results. So if I'm doing a video campaign, I can target people who fully completed the video, people who reached the video. If I'm doing display campaigns, I can target people or retarget people who did a click or an impression. Or I can go to my first-party data website, ingest data based on interest, ingest data based on portal visitor, ingest data based on which site or which page on the website or which action on the page on the website based on the taxonomy that we have discussed earlier. Once you finish, you can also control recency and frequency. So the recency of the action that the user have done and the frequency of doing this action. You save your audiences. So let's say this is Polska Press test. Once I save the audiences, I can start either looking for lookalikes. So I go to create a lookalike model. Once I create the lookalike model, I can see here in my taxonomy tree, the next time I go, I can see anything under Oracle Modeling 360 is a lookalike model.
Okay.
So those are different lookalike models that I've created. Under the lookalike model, I can target the best 1% match, 5%, 10%. We can adjust this for a narrower search. So we can target the best 0.1 or best 0.01 based on how narrow or wide I adjusted my lookalike model to work. So I can use lookalike modeling here as well. Or I can start delivering my campaign to one of the online channels. So let's say I'm doing a 30 days delivery for those audiences. I can use AppNexus, I can use AdWords, I can use Google, or even I can retarget on Facebook. So let's go and see the 200 plus ready-made apps to tap those audiences into the AdTech and MarTech ecosystems. So if I go to my app catalog, those are apps that are ready to use in order to start flowing those audiences to the ecosystem or to the different channels. AppNexus is there, AdWord is there, AdForm is there, Google Ad Manager DV360 is also there. So you have the connector in order to tap your audiences into any of those channels. Whether it's a media targeting campaign, whether it's a social campaign, retargeting on Facebook, for example, whether it's a search campaign, so on Bing search or Google search. So if I go to search, I can see here Google Ads RLSA to start doing search campaigns. Media targeting, I have a rich library of applications to start tapping those audiences into the ecosystem, out of which are AdForm, AdGear. If I scroll down, AppNexus is there as well. Either it's custom cookies or mobile advertising IDs, we support both. If we scroll down to see Google, for example, so we have Google DV360, we have Google Ad Manager, which is Google DFP. What you just do is that you select the app and then you go down and authenticate. So Google Audience Link ID. So you link, and the pricing model, you are working with Google, whether it's CPM or CPS. And then you are ready to use this app into flowing audiences into Google Ad Manager.
Okay. If I may ask you about from your experience, when it comes to the publishers and creating their own, let's say, segments based on demography. I mean, just like a standard demography. So the age and sorry, I'm just missing the word here. The age and the sorry. Gender, exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, when it comes to the age and gender, so most basic one, how usually publishers create those?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. How usually the publishers create what?
Create this kind of segments for demography. I mean, gender and age. How is it usually created? Do they use because you can use part of the data that you already have from use of BlueAI, and you can take it from there and then create lookalikes and extrapolate, right?
Yeah.
So that's one model, but you can also gather, I don't know, create some kind of form that you send to your users, ask them about their gender, about their age, they fill the form, you get the data, and you do it this way. So how is it usually done?
So you have two types of data here, or two types of user IDs or user data here. So there is the deterministic data, or the deterministic targeting, is that you acquire this knowledge from the user, and you for sure know that this audience falls into this category because the user have declared this, either by filling a form or either by subscribing or either by giving you this data. And there is the probabilistic targeting where from the user behavior, probably this user fall into this category, or this user belongs to this category, or in market for this product. Part of what you get as a DMP is something called the audience discovery. The audience discovery is before you fire your campaign. Let's say that I'm targeting people who visited this web page, or people who are interested in a specific category of news. Let's say sports, people who are interested in sports, for example. I can start using the audience discovery report to understand the commonality and to understand my audience profile, which can include age distribution, gender distribution, even it can go to the detail of retail purchase, like what my audiences are purchasing in retail. For example, what is their travel behavior? So if I choose my audience, let's see people, let's choose one of the audiences. So store visitors, for example, and buyers here, some airlines data as well. So I'm using some random audiences. In the demo, for sure, we can have like a structured or a personalized type of audiences. So once you open this audience discovery report for the audience that you have just created, What it is currently doing is that it's comparing those audiences to the enterprise to see the commonality and to start to group audiences into age groups, into groups based on household income, groups based on interests or retail purchase.
Yeah,
And
I'm wondering how useful is that part in Poland. I mean, because when it comes to the audiences and the way how they are created, they are usually based on audiences created in US or I don't know, England, Germany, etc. So countries like that. And I'm wondering if we can, just check the data not based on all the countries, but based only on Poland.
Sure. So let me log in to the DMP here, and let's think of two things. Let's think of the data, third-party data, the data that Oracle owns, and that you currently own 68% of the internet users. So we should work on this first-party data, which might be as equivalent in value as our third-party data, and maybe even more, because it's collecting from your online assets and collected from your own channels. Talking about third-party data, if I just selected audiences by Oracle, so I'm selecting everybody, and I'm selecting branded data, which is data gathered from Affinity Answers, Comscore, MasterCard, and whatever, okay? So I get around 8 billion IDs, which is 8 billion devices or 8 billion cookies or mobile advertising ID. Let me filter that by Poland to see how much inventory of third-party data do we have in Poland. So if I did this, I can see that we have, it's currently calculated. Okay. I'm pretty sure here a couple of million IDs will appear. Just give it some time to filter my audiences by Poland. Okay, no, it's not zero for sure. So there is something that I need to
No, I'm sure that's not zero. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm starting selecting. It's 6 million already, but I can add more. Like I can add more categories to have here. So 6.2 million for the time being. But this is only the data that we will provide for you. I'm sure that adding 68% of or collecting automatically 68% of the internet can add another type or another dimension of value for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you basically, if I understand this correctly, so you're using the data that you get from the clients in Poland, and then it lands in the in a DMP, but not all the data, I assume, just some parts of the data. How does it work, actually?
So it's not 100% correct, because we are not allowed, based on GDPR and other privacy policies, we are not allowed to use data from clients in Poland as Oracle, because so if we work with you, we cannot get your data and share it with anybody else. Because simply we didn't, as Oracle, take the consent of the end user to do this, and we didn't agree with you as Polska Press to do this. So unless there is an agreement to do data monetization through DMP, we don't have the right to do this. But we do this by listening to different domains. So we listen to approximately 15 million domains. And we have data partners, as I told you, like MasterCard, Comscore, and others. We have 80 different data partners. So if we go under branded data, we have 80 different data partners that we, Oracle, have signed agreements with, to share the data, and we have taken consent from the end users to use their, when they land on those partner websites, there is a consent that we can use the data. So we are legally allowed to use this data. But sharing client data is something that we do not do. sharing our client data as Oracle, but we listen to 15 different domains that are not necessarily our client. Also, we have acquired AddThis. We have acquired lots of data companies like AddThis, and I have seen that you are using AddThis data sharing or social sharing component on your website.
Okay.
So if I
know that, but okay, it's good to know.
Yeah, so if I look into your website here, NT Audit PL, I think that I have noticed that you are using AddThis somewhere. I think yes, here. So we have acquired AddThis, which allows us to use the data gathered by AddThis. So I think not on this domain. On other domains, you are using AddThis. So this is how we collect the data. So from organic sources and from other data partners as well. And the good thing is that when you sign with Oracle, you don't need to go and sign with those 80 data partners because Oracle signed on your behalf with those data partners. So you can use the data from day one. So third-party data plus your first-party data, which will be more organic. It's collected from your websites directly, is how we create double value.
Okay, just to go back to the sentence of the question. So basically, from your experience, publishers, they usually created the demographics based like that. So basically using the data that you already have and then extrapolating, or are they using some other methods?
So it's both. It's either by using third-party data. So again, I'm going to show you the audience profile report, which will show you different age groups, or using dimensions from your website to determine different interests and different genders by, like, for example, form filling from end users, subscribe forms, and CRM data, if you collect this data from your end user.
Okay.
Yeah. So like this was a quick demo on Oracle DMP. I will prepare like a personalized one and a detailed one for you. But this is just like to show you the look and feel and how it works. I'm not sure if you have any other questions on what you have seen so far.
Well, partially maybe about the data graph. So I was wondering, as far as I understood about the data graph, it should be like, well, maybe not revolutionary, but very useful for it should be very useful for many companies in Germany, etc., because they have like a big problem with Firefox, because Firefox in Germany is a lot bigger than in Poland, especially when it comes to, when it comes to Polska Press. For us, Firefox is like, I don't know, 10% maybe, on even less actually. We've got like 80% of users on mobile, so it's basically only Chrome. For Germany, that's a lot more, and I was wondering if you may have some kind of use cases from those clients or that country in general, showing that using the data graph, they were able to improve the monetization or in general improve audience offer based on that and used by not used, but generated on Firefox. Considering what happened to Firefox and what may happen in the next 2 years with Chrome.
Okay, so I will search for some use cases for that and maybe share it with you later. So let me get back to my colleagues who worked on similar projects to get some use cases. So what happened with Firefox, Safari, and what's happening to Chrome in 2 years was no surprise to Oracle. We have been working into the post-cookie era for quite some time now, because intelligent tracking prevention has been there for a while. It's not something new that we heard of. Even a couple of years ago when GDPR was introduced, we did let go some of our inventory to comply with GDPR, and we are still one of the biggest, if not the biggest, data marketplace in the world with around 80 billion profiles. And our message is always to focus on quality of data rather than quantity of data. So if I have 20% of my inventory that I have very little data about them due to GDPR and due to intelligent tracking prevention, so if I use this data in targeting, match rates will be low. And because I know very little about those audiences, so the value of using this data is very low. So we decided to let go this amount or this type of data and to sacrifice, in some scenarios, to sacrifice quantity versus quality. And then we have been working on the private ID graph. So we call it the private ID graph because you can create your own ID graph in Poland. And as Polska Press, you can create your own ID graph. For signed-in users, you can define which IDs that you have access to and which IDs that you want to create part of the graph. As I told you, some clients are using PlayStation IDs and Smart TV IDs part of the ID graph. So we have created this ID graph to make sure that cookie, which is going to encounter a major change in 2 years, is never our primary ID for a user. Mm-hmm. And we also work on something we call the ID swap, that whatever ID that we have for the user, so let's say that one user, we have his ID is 123. Our internal BlueKai ID is 123. But Google identifies the same ID, the same user with different ID, which is ABC, for example. So if I don't have a technique for matching or ID swapping between my ecosystem and Google's ecosystem, I will not be able to reach this user on the Google platform. So what we do is that we run what we call the ID swaps with Google every couple of seconds to make sure that we map our IDs with Google IDs. We do the same with AppNexus. We do the same with AdForm. We do the same with all other ad servers in the AdTech ecosystem to make sure that we can reach match rates, high match rates, which with Google, for example, we can reach up to 94% match rates. Thanks to the ID swap that we use. So we make sure that whatever IDs we have in our inventory, whether first or third party data, is of a high quality and of a high match rate if you tap into different ecosystems. This is the investment that we are currently doing. Even using the mobile advertising IDs, you don't need to use mobile browsers in order to start collecting data. So you can start collecting data based on usage on apps thanks to the mobile advertising IDs as well. So we collect data from both. We collect data from mobile cookies and from mobile advertising IDs based on mobile advertising IDs.
Okay.
So this is the investment that we have done. We also have done major acquisitions in the past couple of years. So even if we are not into individual-based targeting, we can still do context-based targeting. So regardless who is the individual who is browsing my website, even if I don't have any of his IDs, but based on the context, I can start targeting him based on the context that he is browsing in. So we have acquired GrapeShot a couple of years ago, which is one of the leaders into contextual targeting. We have also acquired Mode Analytics, if you heard about Mode Analytics. Mm-hmm. So yes. You can do an end-to-end attribution and analysis based on views, based on clicks, based on videos, and based on different digital signs the user gives using Mode Analytics. So if I'm using the DMP here and go to the apps, let me exit here. If I go into the apps that I can integrate with my DMP, I can find that I can integrate not only with media targeting and social and search platforms, but I can also integrate with analytics platforms like Moat and other analytics platforms. So I can use my audiences created into the DMP in order to do advanced attribution and to run attribution models and to do advanced analytics on those platforms.
Okay.
on those
I would have
audiences.
to understand that, but not really got all of that. But okay, it sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll show you two more use cases before we conclude this demo, because I need to work on a detailed and personalized demo to you. So here, one of the use cases is site optimization. So site optimization is, I don't only want to target those audiences or those users with ads based on their profile data and based on their behavioral data, but I also want to optimize the look and feel of the website to them. Like two different users can see two different experiences on the website based on who they are and based on their behavior. This is done by using your audiences with any of the site optimization tools, like Adobe Target, for example, or like Oracle Maximizer, which is a site optimization tool. So if you used any of those site optimization tool with DMP, you can use the audiences that you have created to do different experiences on your website. It's not only about ads. And the other use case is to pass your campaign data to do further analytics. So you do data science like of analytics on your campaign data. So you can choose your campaign data, pass your campaign data into something like Moat Analytics, Resonate Analytics. Like Moat is an Oracle product for sure. But as you can see, we can integrate with Oracle products and non-Oracle products because Oracle DMP is a technology agnostic platform. So you can pass your data to any of those analytics platform in order to do further analytics and further attribution on your campaigns. So
just to be sure, each part of those solutions that you are already right now showing me it's like additional possibility that we could use if we get an extra agreement, etc. Right?
Yes. So Oracle DMP, you can run Oracle DMP and start getting value by Oracle DMP for sure. But if you want to realize more value by doing advanced analytics or doing site optimization, we can tap into either additional Oracle modules maybe in the future or other modules that are non-Oracle that you are currently using. Like, for example, you are using DV360 or you are using Google Ad Manager, which is a separate subscription that you are paying to Google, but we can build on your current investment by integrating with Google Ad Manager so you can realize the value quickly. So this is the idea, is that we are agnostic. We can integrate with external tools because we understand that a DMP is not alone into the ad tech landscape. It should work with other tools in order to utilize or optimize the value. So what are the other questions that you have in this session before planning the next detailed one?
Well, I don't know. Actually, right now, only those use cases from some other countries about the data graph. So that's the part I'm interested in, but not right now. Just if you have those, if you have any feedback from like actual feedback from the clients that are using this, and they can say that is actually useful, not only in theory but also practically useful.
Okay.
It would be great to
like benefits and outcomes and some figures that we were
exactly.
able to achieve with other customers from other countries. Okay, for sure. Exactly. I'll search for some case studies to share with you. Last to mention here is that we do not license per campaign, so you can launch as many campaigns as you want. We do not license per number of users, so you can generate or grant access to any of your team or even external agency. You can give limited access to your external agencies to help you launch campaigns and do analytics. The metric that we license for is the page views, like how many page views that you get. So I got enough information today to help Ernest provide you a budgetary. This is number one. And to help me to create a customized demo for you.
Okay, great.
Okay, so that's it from my side for today. Thanks for the useful information. I'm giving it back to Ernest.
Okay. Abdullah, thank you very much, firstly, for actually staying with us that long. Because Rafa, we usually can book the pre-sale such as Abdullah only for 1 hour, but here we took a little bit more of his time. I hope he won't have to work too many other hours because of that. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you, Abdullah.
I'm just wondering on the time perspective. Abdullah, do you think that you can possibly do this targeted demo tomorrow at this 2 p.m. or would it be too early?
No, so actually I have other engagements tomorrow. I would look for some time early next week if this suits all your calendars. So I'm going to share 2 different slots with you, possibly next week, early next week, so we can see what suits your calendars more. And we can adjust that and do that. What do you think?
I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I thought, do you have like any preferred slots in terms of the next week?
Next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Usually better earlier than later, but definitely not on Tuesday before. On 10 p.m. because 10 p.m. is booked, and I'm not sure if Monday is booked already. The whole day for me. I think.
Okay. I'll check my calendar based on your preferences, and I'll share 2 different slots so you can see which one of them is more convenient.
Okay, great.
Okay. It will be a demo like today, but it will be more detailed and more personalized to our business use cases here.
Okay. I think I should add maybe that's... I don't think that should be like very important part, but considering how many domains we use, the 27 are the main domains. I think we've got like another 15 or something. Those are a lot less important, but we do also use them. They have some very specialized data in there that we can use. You know, it's about